Hey, what's going on everybody? Temperistic here back again for another Dead by Daylight video. Introducing you to the game, everything that is in between with it, with killers, surviving, all the perks. Last video, we introduced you to the whole entire UI, how to navigate the menu, and how to get to the store, look at the shrine, how to use your blood points, your shards, your Auric cells, which is just for cosmetics, and the blood trinkets, which are only going to be available for another 8 days. And I thought, what a perfect way to show you how to survive in the Blood Moon event with only 8 days left. And I looked at my dailies, and they all have to do with survivors. So, just like I said before, these are where your dailies are going to show up. Not for very long though. They are testing a new quest system, which I think I mentioned in the last video, where instead of it showing up right here, if you go to your rituals, it's just everything is going to be separated into or condensed into a specific quest system. So you're going to click on some kind of quest tab, and then your dailies, your weeklies, your event challenges, your old challenges, and then there's going to be some kind of milestone ones which are going to take you longer to complete. They're all going to be in one place, and you can, play one game, and in that one game you're going to complete 3 challenges, 4 or 5 quests or whatever, or you're at least going to put some kind of progress towards all of them. So it's definitely going to be a better system, because people are frustrated that they can only pick one challenge per game, and some challenges take longer depending on what it is. Like, obviously, completing, if it only says complete 1 gen, you're going to be able to get that done in 1 game, but if it wants you to complete 10 gens or 15, that's going to take longer. And it's always a bad feeling when you finish a game without completing some kind of challenge. So for now, we are stuck with the old system. We've got my daily rituals here, where I've got to repair 3 full gens. I have to perform cooperative actions with my teammates for a total of 180 seconds, and I've got to escape and collect a new item 1 time. So what that means is, in the game, there are chests scattered around the map, and they have items in them, like the same items that you have in your loadout. So right here, I said, I want to have a sport flashlight to bring into the game with me at the start, and I've got my add-ons and stuff like that. So all of these items that you see in your inventory, they're going to be available inside of chests that are scattered around the map in the game. So the only way that I can complete my daily quests or daily challenge is not only by escaping, but by opening one of those chests and getting a new item that I didn't start with. So even if I pick a flashlight out of the chests, I can still complete the daily, because it's not the same flashlight that I entered the map with. And there are multiple different flashlights. Like, this is a sport one, this is a regular flashlight, there's other ones, but here you can see all the items that you can bring in. The blood sense map, this is only for the event, which is why it says event item underneath the name. Basically, it is a super duper map with all the add-ons built into it. As you can see here, the rainbow map is the highest rarity of a map that you can have. There's a green one, which is a regular map. Here it is right here, and basically it just, it says 20 seconds of use. You can start with knowing where 1 gen is, and then it unlocks the ability to track generators within an 8-meter range. Whereas on this one, it has a few different abilities, whereas on this one, when you use it, it produces a pool of blood, and I believe it's the same on this. So yeah, both of these, they have all the add-ons. Otherwise, with the green one, you'll have to put the add-ons onto it, which will allow you to, track certain things, like the killer's belongings, letting you know where the exit gates are, and so on and so forth. So basically, the flashlight lets you stun the killer by blinding them. Depending on what killer you play against, you have to aim it into their face, whether they're tall, like the Nemesis, or really short, like Chucky. You aim it in their face at a certain angle, and if you do it at the right time, you can stun them. Not only that, but if they're carrying a survivor, if you do it after the pickup animation, then you can stun them, and they will drop the survivor, and you save somebody. So that's always a good feeling. So the map lets you know where things are. Broken Key doesn't really do anything unless you have some add-ons onto it where you can see some stuff. So if you put the wedding ring onto it, it'll let you know where the obsession is. What the obsession is, it's basically somebody on your team. There's always going to be 4 survivors per game. One of the survivors is always going to be the obsession. Back in the day, that wasn't always the case. You had to have some sort of add-on or perk or whatever that would make you the obsession, but the developers just said, hey, we have so many different perks and so many different things that have to do with the obsession, why not just make it a base kit? And that's what they did. So every single game there is going to be obsession. You will never have a game where there isn't one, and that's just how it works. So if you don't have any aura reading powers or add-ons on the broken key, it is literally just a broken, useless key. Other than the skeleton key, which lets you open the hatch even after the killer closes it. Then we've got the toolboxes, which each one of them does a couple different things. This one is pretty much just for generators, and it lets you complete generators faster. The mechanics toolbox has about half the amount of charges on it, but it increases your repair speed by 25% more than this one does. And then most toolboxes, it unlocks the sabotage action, which lets you go up to a hook to sabotage it, and it breaks it for, if my memory serves me correctly, about 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. I want to say 20. So that's always good, but you don't just use it, just to go up to a hook and break it. You want to time it to where, let's say a killer is picking somebody up and you know exactly which hook they're going to use. You break the hook, boom, and then usually the survivor has enough time to wiggle out of the killer's grasp. So there's a whole bunch of mechanics that I'm only going to be able to explain to you while we're in a game. But the build that I'm going for right now is just a generic build if you're going in solo. Obviously, if I had a team where I could communicate with them, I wouldn't have windows of opportunity. I probably wouldn't even have off the record because we would be able to coordinate against tunneling, which is a term you don't know yet. You're gonna hear if you get into the Dead by Daylight community, you're gonna hear slang terms like tunneling or slugging, which are 2 things that the killer does that is heavily frowned upon. But at the end of the day, it is a strategy, and it is not against the game's rules, which is why you cannot get banned for it. Tunneling basically means, let's say you're playing killer, you're pretty close to the hook when one of the other survivors comes and rescues somebody that just got hooked, and instead of going after somebody new, you go after the same person that just got unhooked. That is called tunneling. You're targeting someone. You're not playing how the game is normally supposed to be played. But like I said, if you're going up against a team of 4 that's communicating, you know that the only way that you're going to be able to get people to die on the hook is by tunneling or by slugging. 99% of the time, if you are playing killer and you're going up against a good team of 4 team, you're not going to win. You're probably not even going to get one person dead on the hook. And that's just how it is. However, if you play against a bunch of solo players, most of the time you're going to win and you're going to kill every single one of them. So because I'm going in by myself, I have windows of opportunity. I've played, each map enough times to know where all the pallets are. The point of windows of opportunity when you're going in by yourself is to let you know which pallets have been used and all that stuff. So, since there's no communication with my teammates right now, the only way that I'm going to know if a pallet has been used, especially in the shack, which is, arguably the most powerful pallet on each map, this is the only way to know. Because let's say I go over there and I'm like, oh shoot, somebody used it, it's gone, and then I'm probably going to be dead. So Windows Opportunity gives me that little bit of information. Off the record is going to be a anti-tunneling perk. Right here it says that once you're unhooked or you escape from the hook, it activates for 70 seconds. This is the green version. I don't have the purple version on Sable. Not a big deal. It just adds 10 seconds or whatever to it. Most of the time I don't even get use off the record. but while it's active, your aura will not be shown to the killer. It doesn't matter if they use barbecue and chili, or nowhere to run, or nowhere to hide, or whatever. The killer has tons and tons of add-ons and perks that show where you are on the map. Grunts of pain caused by injuries are reduced by 100%, so you have a little built-in Iron Will there. Iron Will is a perk that literally makes it to where you don't make any noise when you're injured, you don't moan or anything like that. And then you gain the endurance status effect, which means that you get an extra hit off of you. So endurance is built in to people that get rescued from the hook. For about, it's called Borrowed Time. Borrowed Time is a perk that's still in the game that just extends it. But basically what Borrowed Time used to do before they built it into the game is, let's say you rescue someone from the hook, you have Borrowed Time, you give the person an extra like 20 seconds to run away, and then if the killer hits them before that 20 seconds is up, they, instead of going down, they turn white, and they go into a kind of half death or half dying state where they have to run away and they have to mend themselves, and then they go back into the injured state. So there's a whole lot to explain with survivors, even though each survivor is pretty much the same. And I'm not going to be doing, I'm not going to upload a video going through each survivor because they're basically the same. Yes, males have a bulkier body and stuff, but there's not one survivor that does anything different than another survivor, which is the complete opposite of what killers do, because each killer has their own power, and none of them are the same, whereas survivors are. So we're just going to be doing a few generic survivor videos here. I'll do one for the Blood Moon event. I'll do one just for regular gameplay, and then Life, it makes it to where once I vault through a window, I get 50% haste for 3 seconds. And then I get exhausted for 40 seconds, which means I cannot use life until I stand still and recuperate. Which is the only way for you to get rid of exhausted. You can't get rid of any kind of exhausted status effect on you if you are running. You have to be standing still or walking. And then Adrenaline is for the end game. Once the exit gates are powered, it instantly heals you for 1 health state. It used to fully heal you, which is a little bit too much. This is why they nerfed it. So if you're injured, you'll go into the healthy state, and then if you are dying, you'll get up and be in the injured state, and you'll start sprinting at 150% of your normal running speed, which is just like if you use sprint bursts. And if you're already exhausted, it ignores the exhausted status effect, and it causes the exhausted status effect for 40 seconds. So once the exit gates are powered, this is a good way, in case like a killer is camping you or something like that or whatever. So yeah, so toolboxes, they make it to where you can destroy hooks for a limited time. Flashlights help you stun the killer. It's the only thing that you can do against the killer besides dropping pallets and stunning them. Med kits, they're exactly what you think they are. They help you heal faster and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna get into a game here. We're going to search for a game. Queues for survivors are pretty fast compared to killers, which are pretty slow. And then I've got my charms on there, as you can see. I showed you in the last video, but here are my skins here. I've got the Little Red Riding Hood skin on her, and then here you can use all your charms and all that good stuff. And then yeah, doesn't take too long to find a game when you're playing Survivor, because usually, at least on the North American servers, there are more survivors playing at all times than killers. So, like that, I have 3 random people here. We got somebody with a flashlight, somebody with a map, it looks like, somebody with a med kit, and yeah. And then I've got a challenge here where I have to finish repairing a total of 2 blood generators, which is, they're the generators that you can only find in this game type here, in this event. And the purpose of these videos is not, first of all, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not that good at Survivor. I'm 100 times better at Killer. The whole point of this is not to escape. It's not just showcase my skill in any way, shape, or form. I am just trying to get you going here. And then the offerings, they show before the game starts. Everybody's using Bloodshot Eye. It just gives you a little bit more blood points, and it's only usable in the event. That's it. And then you have the loading screen. It gives you some tips above the loading bar before the game starts. So we're going to have 4 generators. They're going to be blood gens, where we pour some blood into them to power them. And then 3 gens are going to be regular gens that you can find in the regular game mode. So we're going to start here, Autohaven Wreckers. And then you can see the ores. I know where all the vaults are. I know where all the pallets are. And we're looking for a blood pump here. I see a blood pump gas station, so I'm going to go over there. And then you start filling it up. And then it tells me which one is the closest. And then right there on the left-hand side of the screen, you see these marks around the characters of my teammates. That means he's being chased for now. He just got injured. So some good info. And now we are going to be filling this up here. It doesn't take too long to fill up a blood gen. It really doesn't. So now we're empty. Oh, we're playing against Nemesis. So Nemesis has these zombies here. If you've ever played Resident Evil, you know all about those. They're not too bad to go up against when you're playing Survivor. You can easily use your flashlight to stun them. I probably should have shown you that. Alright, let's run back over there. So maybe I'll show you that here. I'm gonna drop it. Hey zombie. Hey zombie. Hey zombie. Zombie. And then it's stunned for a little bit of time. So that's basically what a flashlight does. We're gonna fill it up. Alright, Gory has gone down. Our teammate has completed a regular generator. Now, please, a little bit of advice. Please do not rush to save your teammate when they're on the first hook. It's not a big of a deal. Please, I beg of you. We have plenty of time to save him. There is no reason for us to worry about him right now. Do not rush and save him. You have about 90 seconds until they go into the second hook stage. Do not make that rookie mistake. You will piss your teammates off. Alright, so if you wanted to know what that sound was, that was letting us know that Nemesis, who is the killer we're going up against right now, is in level 2. That means that they can break pallets. Their reach with their tentacle power is a little bit longer, not a big deal. And we are going to go try to save our teammate here. You know, we have 3 gens down. There's no reason for us not to, even though we have a little bit more time to do some other stuff. We have located the second gen pump. Let's see if we can heal our teammate here. Well, maybe he doesn't want to get healed. That's okay. Oh. Sometimes your teammates will not want to get healed. That's because they have perks that that make it to where they gain some bonus effects, like resilience, which gives you a 9% gen repairing speed once you're injured. So don't freak out if your teammates don't want to be healed. You know, you can't see their perks. They're actually working on an update, I believe, in the future to where you will be able to see your teammates' perks before the game starts, which is really nice. Okay, so if your teammates don't want to be healed, leave them be. They have a plan that you don't know about. Even though, yes, he did just go down, which is unfortunate, and technically Nemesis is tunneling there, even though he could have gone against me, which I was right in front of him. A big scary bug got injured because he likely took a protection hit, and he gets punished by going down. Alright, so we're going to drop that so we can run faster. We're going to try to save our teammate, who is very close to dying. Let's see, Nemesis is going back to the other one. I think he just saw me there. He just downed his zombie, which gives him a little bit of a bonus. Did he just see me? I think he did just see me. I am going to save him there, and yeah, it looks like he is tunneling. So what you can do is kind of go in front of him here to tunnel, or I don't know what he's doing. It's like, hit me, bro. What are you doing? So we are 100% okay with going down here because we are saving our teammate who is getting tunneled. Not a big deal. No problemo. I will happily get hooked. And once you get grabbed, you have this little thing that comes up, and you can switch it to where you mash the button, but it's a lot easier to do that with the buttons. And there's no reason to panic right now. We only have one gen left to do. Let's let our teammates heal. I mean, if they want to come get me, they can, but there really is no big deal. There's a lot of time before I go into the second stage. Alright, so Nemesis is in tier 3, so now he has a longer range with his tentacle strike, and he breaks pallets faster and all that good stuff. Teammate missed a skill check. That's what happens when you miss a skill check. And now we're going to heal him. This is what it looks like. That's what a skill check looks like. If you hit it in the little small white area, you get a great skill check and you get a little bit of a boost to the meter. That like that. And then you get extra blood points. Looks like Nemesis is headed this way. I was going to show you what it looks like to find an antidote and all that stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. So that white box over there, that is where we can get the antidote. I believe what happens if you let the infection take over is the killer will be able to know where you are at all times. Unfortunately, he is leading the killer over here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this antidote. Alright. We're going to activate life, which is going to give us a boost. I did not know that my teammates were doing a generator there, otherwise I wouldn't have taken them there. Sometimes that happens. We're going to take the vaccine here. And we are no longer infected. Bada bing, bada boom. So it looks like this is a baby killer. This is a Nemesis that doesn't have too much experience. It happens. He's in a slug now. Alright, we're going to take a hit. Take another hit. And he's going to leave us. And we don't see any other boxes. That might be it for the antidotes, unfortunately. We're going to go for the save. I usually wait to go for the save until the killer is on one of my teammates, so he won't come back and try to tunnel. But we're going to go for it here. And maybe go somewhere to heal. Oh, he's coming. It looks like he has some sort of perk, which makes it to where I can't hear his heartbeat. And we did a little 360 there. I'm not going to try to explain how to do that. That's more of an advanced mechanic. You shouldn't worry about that until you have a lot of hours on the game. Now, I believe if they didn't nerf it from the last time I've used it, Adrenaline will activate after I get off of this hook. I could be wrong. And then any perks that negatively affect you, they will be red, and that's why we were seeing that little picture of that guy that has a little silhouette around him. What that means is a brand new perk that came out with the Tokyo Ghoul expansion. That means that all vaults and all pallets are not going to be able to be used for quite some time. which is very powerful. But it doesn't activate until the end of the game, which is what we are in right now. I accidentally missed a skill check, so we might be dying here. We'll see if my teammates can come and get me before I die. It looks like they just made it in time. Very good. Yep, so it does activate, but I'm going to let my teammates heal me instead. Him getting me off the hook does not heal me, but it does give me the speed. Okay, he does commit. Appreciate that. And let's see if we can make it to the end. Nope, we cannot. So it looks like we're going to be going down here and we are going to be dying. And yeah, he's going to go for me here, which is unfortunate. And we will not be making it out alive. We got close. No cigar. All good. Just wanted to give you an idea of what a game looks like. Now there's obviously 100 different things that I could have done in the game to make it to where I win or whatever. But let me show you the endgame scoreboard here. So this is right here how you're gonna tell how you did. We got max points in the objectives, which is generators, so we did a good job there. Survival not so good, right? We died, so not so good. Altruism, which basically means, you know, teamwork with your teammates, good. We did some unhooking, we did some healing, we did a gen with our teammates. So yeah, in the teamwork department, we didn't do a bad job. Boldness, basically, how confident were you in the game to be as close as the killer as you possibly could, you know, while doing the objectives or whatever. So you weren't scared of the killer, right? So, you know, we didn't do a bad job there. And then it tells you that in the match you got 175,594 blood points. That gets added to your total. We have a nice, juicy, last time I checked, 375% bonus, which is why we get so many of this. In a regular game, you're probably not going to get more than 40,000 blood points. Kind of sad. These are the ranks. We didn't get a pip, which adds to our rank here. Benevolent. It represents how altruistic you and your team are during a trial. Right here, we got iridescent, which is the highest rank. So we did very good there. And it shows you in gold, if you don't want to read the whole thing, what it's about. So it's about, you know, you and your teammate using teamwork. We did that very well, which is why we got the max rank. We safely unhooked our teammates. And then, yeah, we did altruistic actions. Evader, we didn't do that good of a job. We got bronze. Did we stay hidden from the killer? Not really. Did we win chases? No, we didn't win a single chase. The way you win chases is you basically lose the killer, and yeah, not an easy thing to do because they see your scratch marks and blood on the ground and all that. You only receive half the points if you lose the chase, so we only got half. Did we do any pallet stuns? No, not really. So it's not really in your benefit. It depends on the killer, right? Like Nemesis, you don't really want to go for pallet stuns because he has a power that, you know, his tentacle goes right through the pallet and it will hurt you. So you kind of want to run away from him. Lightbringer. Let's see here. So because we're in the Blood Moon event, this one is a little ticky-tacky. We did repair some generators, but they weren't regular generators. They were the blood gens. Unfortunately, behavior didn't do the best that they could have done with this event. They made it to where a lot of killer add-ons, a lot of killer perks, and survivor perks and add-ons don't work with blood gens. Very unfortunate. They should not have done that, but they did it. And this is why, if you play in this event, you most likely will have a low rank or right here, not a rank at all, because We didn't complete any generators. We did the blood generators, even though it says 5 generator repairs, which is impossible to do in this event because there are only 3 regular generators, you know, but it is what it is. And then the last one is Unbroken. Did we survive? Not really, but we got a silver because we got close to surviving, you know, we got close to escaping. And then how much time were you alive? So yeah, so you get the gist of how the point system works here. If we got in between these 2 red brackets here, we would have gotten a pip and we would have gone to Ash 3, but we didn't. You can't lose a pip in this game. You used to, but you know, behavior knows that there is basically no ranking system in this game, which is why you don't get punished for losing a game. If you get past the second red thing, you get 2 pips, which means you just beasted the whole entire game and you got iridescent in all 4 categories. It lets us know, hey, you died with your item, so you lose it, you lose the add-ons, bummer. And then, boom, we leveled up our regular rank, and we got 300 iridescent shards for that, so that's nice. And then it lets us know that we got bonus for it being our first game of the day, and how much experience we need for our next level, and that we've made it through this 3 times, so we're close to getting Devotion 4, which is like Prestige in Call of Duty. And then the last one, we get to see everybody's perks, what they brought in here. So, let's see here. Corey was the one that didn't want to be healed. Doesn't really look like he had any injured perks, so that was kind of weird why he didn't want to be healed. And then you can look at your teammates' builds, their perks, you know, see everything. This person brought in a Halloween flashlight from the previous Halloween event. You can see how they did, and then the killer, we can see what kind of build they were going for here and everything like that. And then, yeah, the server will disconnect if you're in it for too long. Yeah, and then this right here is lighting up gold because we completed our Survivor Challenge. Boom, we did 2 gens. And then you can hit continue and it'll bring you back to the board. Or you can hit upgrade where it'll bring you back to the board and it'll automatically go into the blood web, so you can start using your points. So let's go do our challenges so we can get our rewards. And here we are into the Blood Moon event challenge tab, which only has 8 days left. So we complete our challenge, we get the rewards, and then we get bonus 100 trinkets to use to get cosmetics. And we're on to the next challenge. What is the next challenge? I have to fill up a total of 2 blood cans at Blood Pump. We already did this game, but because we didn't have it selected, we don't get progress towards it, and that's why they're coming out with the new quest system, because people have an issue with that. So we are going to be doing that in the next game. But that's it. You know, press back. It'll bring you back into the lobby. We lost our stuff, so maybe next game we'll go for a, I don't know, maybe we'll use a med pack next game, and we'll, you know, put this on to increase our healing speed by 15%, and then we'll put this on to end charges to the kit. So yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. You got to see a game against Nemesis, which is arguably one of the best killers in the game. He is hard to beat. You know, he has his tentacle strike, which gives him a good amount of range. He has 2 teammates, which no killer in the game really has any teammates. He is unique in that way. He has 2 zombies letting him know where people are, and that can injure people and down people. So he's a very strong killer, one of my favorite. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, if there's anything that I missed in the game, please help other people out. That is the whole purpose of why I'm doing this Dead by Daylight series, just to help new players get into the game. And yeah, so next video, I'm probably going to be going over the killers. We're going to be going from in order of when they got introduced into the game. So the first one's going to be Trapper, second one's going to be the Wraith, third one is probably going to be Hillbilly, and we're going to be going on from there. So look out for those, but in the meantime, after this video gets uploaded, I actually don't know what I'm going to be streaming today. Probably sometime later, maybe in a few hours, we'll see. But give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the fog.